Hey guys, Aaron here. Today we're going to be replacing the cooling fan assembly on this F-150. Now this particular truck is a 2016 with a 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine. However, if you have the 3.5 or the 5.0, the parts and procedures are pretty much going to be the same. And also, if you have a Ford Expedition, the parts and procedures are pretty much going to be the exact same as well. And what we're experiencing here today is the truck is actually overheating at idle, at stop, running for 10 minutes or longer. The temperature will start to creep up, and only one fan is turning. So before you go ahead and just deem, yeah, I think I have a bad cooling fan assembly, let's go over some things that you're going to have to check just to make sure that those fans or one of those motors are bad. So the first thing that we need to do is just take off the cover for the fuses. We want to verify that these fuses are good. And there's actually 3 fuses that control and allow power to the cooling fans. That is 37 right here. It's a 50 amp little block fuse. 33 right here. This is also a 50 amp. And then we have 97, which is a 10 amp back here. Get a little better view of that. Make sure these fuses are good. I actually had a bad fuse right here. One of the motors for some reason stopped working and this fuse blew, so just make sure that these fuses are good. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to command the cooling fans to come on with a bidirectional scanner connecting to the vehicle right now, and we're actually going into the special test feature of the scanner where we can energize certain things and run certain tests on various engine components. So let's go ahead and go down here to, you can see, high speed engine cooling fan control and low speed engine fan control. I went ahead and ran these tests. The fan didn't come on, of course, because that fuse was bad. So it's pretty cool that you can actually get in here and command the fans to come on. Definitely a good diagnostic aid here. So before we start replacing the fans, let's go ahead and go over the tools that we're going to need to get the job done. All right, so we'll need a 7mm socket, a 10mm socket, an 8mm or 5/16 open end wrench, a pair of side cutters, a flat blade screwdriver, and a trim removal tool. All right, first thing we need to do is just disconnect the battery using a 10mm socket. Next, we need to go ahead and just remove the intake system here from the filter up to this first pipe using a 7mm socket. Alright, once that's taken off, we can go ahead and just take our little pipe right here and kind of hold it out of the way. What I like to do is just take a bungee cord and hold it to like a wiper blade or a wiper arm just to hang it out of the way a little bit. Alright, after that's done, we can go ahead and remove and just kind of lay over our degas bottle using a 10mm socket. There's 2 screws we need to remove. We can just bend it over. Alright, now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and remove just this plastic trim piece right here. I believe there's about 8 or 9 of these little plastic pop rivets. Using our trim removal tool, we're going to go ahead and remove all those. And if you don't have a trim removal tool, you could use probably a flat blade screwdriver and a pair of dikes. They work pretty well too. Just trying to damage them because we do have to reuse them. So we got all of our little plastic pop rivets removed. What we could do now is just take an 8mm socket and remove this one bolt. That way we could take this little air induction piece right here out of the way. Alright, so next thing we need to do is just remove all of the wiring off of the cooling fan assembly. There's multiple places where the wiring attaches to, like right there. Using our trim removal tool or a pair of needle nose pliers will work best. Alright, so when we got all of the wiring disconnected and kind of moved away from the shroud, we can go ahead and disconnect both motors. One little tip, just try to depress down real hard on the back of the connector. It is really tough. It's kind of hard to see because it's in a bad place. but if you just push down right here on this gray tab, it'll come right out. All right, now we need to remove both bolts on the top of the shroud, one on the driver, one on the passenger, using a 10mm socket. All right, so before we can go ahead and take the shroud up and out, there are 4 little plastic retainers, one here, one there, and 2 more over here that we need to remove. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the shroud about 1 inch, and then I'm going to take my plastic trim removal tool, and I'll get underneath here, work my hand down here, and kind of pop them loose. A little hard to show on camera, so I'm just going to do my best to try to get those off. All right, so all 4 retainers are disconnected from the bottom. Is a little bit tough. Just be patient and you'll get those off. If push comes to shove, just cut them off through sticking your hand through the in between the radiator and the cooling fan. Now it's time to navigate the cooling fan up and out of the engine bay, just kind of watching your radiator hoses or anything, any wiring that's in the way. Try not to get that snagged. All right, so here is the old radiator or cooling fan assembly compared with the new one. If you can see the new fans, they turn with a little bit of resistance, and this one here just likes to keep on spinning. This is actually the fan that failed and caused our 50 amp fuse to blow. This one still has some resistance to it, which is pretty good, but this one just spins away. So let's go ahead and throw this new cooling fan assembly back into the truck. So it's really important that we get our wiring back in place correctly. We definitely don't want to leave this wiring loose. So just go ahead and use our old little retainers here and snap the wiring back into the new shroud. All right, so now that we got everything put back together, it's time to go ahead and run our tests with our little scanner here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the high-speed test. What you're gonna notice is that it's gonna go on low speed for like a second or two and then kick on to high. So let's go ahead and activate the test and see if the fans come on. And they are. All right, very good. So let's go ahead and exit this test, and then we can go ahead and go to our low-speed engine tests. If your fans still don't come on, make sure to check those fuses like we did in the beginning. Sometimes you'll miss those if they're bad. And the fans are coming on. So that pretty much concludes this video, guys. Hope this video has helped you out. Make sure to check the links in the description for the correct parts for your application. Thanks for watching as always. See you next time.